Hi folks, we're back on the bush restoration, and this time it's putting the varnish on. Yeah, we're at that point where we're happy with everything. So we're going to start. We're going to start to apply the varnish. Don't know how many coats it'll take, but I want to put as many on as I can. And the idea is to spread it nice and thin. What have I fucking stood on? There we are. The idea is to spread it nice and thin. And look at that, it just makes the grain pop out, doesn't it? I'll do a little bit and then I'll show you the finished result. So you use as little as possible, and that way when you use as little as possible, you don't have to worry about spilling it or wasting any. But and try and go in the same direction all the time with the brush. I mean, sometimes you can't, but try and go the same direction all the time. And I'll tell you what, you can't really see it on the video where you're looking, but I'll tell you what, the grain is really starting to pop with this yacht varnish going on. The grain is really starting to pop. There we go. See, sometimes you might have to go the other way, but put it on in thin coats. Get it down there, there we go. And I'll do the top and a little bit of the front, and then I'll get on with it and I'll come back afterwards. There we go. Just put it on in thin coats. And right, I'll pause it here and I will bring you back shortly. And because you don't want to watch me do this. Right, let me just show you folks. There she is with her clean, with her first coat of varnish. Let's just go down the side here again. It's a bit much there, it's a bit thick in places. Just thinning it down a bit. There we go. Just make sure that it feels even all the way around. That's what I'm using this little brush for, just for getting the varnish even. Let me just turn the radio, the case, all the cabinet all the way around so you can see. What's happened here, I don't know. The veneer was beginning to peel and it had a bubble in it, and what I did, I put the iron on and it left this mark. I don't know whether I scorched it or whether there was something on the iron I didn't see. But anyway, I wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't chopping that out just to put another piece in so it can stay. There we go, we've got a couple of bristles on the case now, there we go. Right. That looks absolutely good. It's the actual it's going to be big screen. Look at that, the varnish really makes it pop. Wait until it gets all the front put back in, the speaker grill and the dial. It'll really pop once the dial and everything's cleaned and goes back in. The dial glass is up there, I've not cleaned it yet. But I need some sort of either rubber or silicone to put in it to so it doesn't rattle when it's to put in the guide, so it doesn't rattle when it's on with the vibration from the speaker. I'm a bit annoyed about this here, but there's nothing I can do. I weren't cutting a piece out and putting a piece in, messing about. I didn't want to go through all that. So basically it was just a case of you know, it'll add to its character anyway. But look at the grain, you can see the grain in the wood starting to come through. I mean, it looks even better live. You know, from where I'm sat, it looks even better. And I'm going to leave it there, folks, but I'll keep you updated. Good morning, folks. This is call it a continuation of the varnishing video. I've actually finished varnishing it now, and to be honest with you, it looks, I'm just cleaning the varnish brush, it actually look, I might give the top another coat yet, but we'll see. Don't think it needs it, but we'll see, because it's still drying, because it's had a few coats, about 4 or 5 coats, maybe a few more than that. And I'll tell you what, we'll just get rid of the varnish that's on the brush. Just get rid of the varnish that's on the brush. Just get it rid of it. Put a bit on the top here. There we go. Just put a bit on the top. It just gets rid of the varnish that's already on the brush. And just pull that along there. There we go. How about that, folks? Right, that brush will get cleaned after. Put that there. We're now putting the top back on the varnish because we're finished with it. This is yacht varnish I've used. That's yacht varnish. Yacht varnish, clear yacht varnish I've used. And well, what we're doing, put my other glasses on, they're better than them fucking things. Need tightening up, then they're a bit loose. Anyway, I'll clean the brush. I'll put the brush in some terps in a second. Get it cleaned. Find somewhere to put some terps in. Anyway, I've basically done the best that I actually can. There's a little lump there. Now I can do about that. There we go. And this little mark here, folks, this little mark here, let's take the glasses off a minute there. This mark here, that appeared after because it came loose here, so I put the iron back on, and something came off the iron. I don't know what, but something came off the iron, and that's what happened with that, but I'm not bothered. I can live with that. I mean the cabinet is a lot better, like look at the front. But just tilt it forward, there we go. Look at that. The top rather. And there's the front. Look at that. I mean that's actually very good. I'm happy with that. I've got a bit more to do, but not much. There's a couple of more things that I would like to do. Let's clear the varnish out of where the knobs go in, knobs come through. You know, just for the hell of it really. Anyway, that's right. So what I need to do is put the I need to find something to put the varnish, the varnish brush in. I need to find something that I can use to put the varnish brush in. I did have a pot noodle container. There we are, that'll do. They come in handy, these old pot noodle containers, for putting your brushes in. Let's put a bit of terps into the container. Just enough really. There we go. Just really enough. You only want enough just to cover the brush. And I'll leave that in there for a bit, and we've got this brush here I used as well, and I'll put that in. Oop. There we go. And I'll put them on the shelf out of the way. Put them up there out of the way. Right. Well, the next thing I'm going to be doing with this is I'll be tidying the workbench, getting rid of all the stuff I don't need out. I can't do that just yet, I've got stuff in the way. Like my Bush SRP, that's in the way, SRP 31C, that's in the way, that needs to be put back in the bedroom out of the way so it's safe. But I was using it yesterday. But to be honest with you folks, do you know something? I am really, I'll show you the sides. There we go, look at that. Now the other side. It's hard to lift it because there you go. There you go, look at that, nice shine on both sides. That'll polish up. Once that's all dry, which I'm going to leave it to dry now. Once that's all dry, that should polish up, or actually not bad. And it's pretty much, it's supposed to be mahogany, but it's pretty much the same colour it would have been when it left the factory. The colour's pretty much the same as it was, which I'm not bothered about. I mean, I would have liked it a bit more mahogany, but I'm not bothered. I mean, I can live with that. I mean, it's better than what it was. Let's see what it looks like with the grilling. I mean, we're going to find out later what it looks like with the dial glass and everything in. Let's pull it forward a bit. There we go. Now, let's get hold of the speaker, or where the speaker would be if it had one. Let's guide this in, because I want to make sure that everything looks right. And that just slides up. And that slides to about there. I can't touch it anywhere. But yeah. Once that's screwed in, you've got your screw holes there. Yeah, once that's screwed in, folks, there's no gap there. No, and there's no gap, not much of one there. Once this is, there we go. I've got the dial glass. I'm going to sort the dial glass out after. Oops, and we're going to see it for the first time since I bought this radio, because the dial glass has never been in it. Well, it wasn't, it was new, but I've never seen it with dial glass in it. It fell out in transit. Either that or it was damaged. I think it was maliciously damaged, because the guy accepted the offer on it that I made him. And have I got a run in it there? No. I thought there was a run in the varnish, then it's not. Is it? Oh, I can't touch it. Let me have a look. this wants further investigation. No, it'll be alright that. Once everything's dry, it'll be nice. And all I have to do, I'm going to stop messing with it now. Leave it there, make sure nothing's touching it. Because the last thing you want is something to stick to your damn varnish. And there's I thought it was a hair, it's the aerial wire for the FM aerial. There we go. Right, well that's the cabinet varnished. I'm not going to upload this video yet. I'm going to wait for a few hours because I want to clean the dowel glass, which I'm going to do in a few minutes, and I'll explain the procedure for cleaning the dowel glass. And we'll get that sorted, and we'll see where we go from there. And I can't put the dial in yet because this is all still wet, but I can prepare it, and I'll upload this video once I've got the dowel glass and everything in the front that goes in the front in, so it looks like, you know, yeah, I've got some nice knobs for it which have been refurbished by me. You know, this is turning out to be a nice radio, and you can't see the join in the top. Well, actually, if you look very closely, you can, but you know, you can actually if you look very closely. But I'm happy with it, and as long as I'm happy with it, nothing else matters. And the grain all pretty much, I managed to get a good match here where the join is. I managed to get a good match on the grain as well. Anyway folks, I'll come back once I've got all the front and everything put in, but that won't be for a few hours yet because I'm going to let this dry now. Right, what I'm going to do now while the cabinet's still drying, which well, I'm very pleased with incidentally, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just leave that to it, and I'm going to clean the dowel glass. To do that, I'm going to pull this piece of trim off, which also secures the dowel glass. I'll put that there for a minute, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray some detergent on the top face of the glass, only a little bit, and I'm going to get a cloth. This is a microfiber cloth, and I'm going to clean the glass. Doesn't take much cleaning, you don't have to press hard on it. Press hard on it, you break the glass. It's as simple as that. And getting one of these glasses would be hard. I mean, I actually got a comment left saying that if I did accidentally break the glass, that somebody'd got one, and I called Dave's got one, and he would be prepared to let me have, but why run the risk of breaking the glass in the first place? Now this side is the side you've got to be careful of. I once washed one of these under a warm tap, under warm water, and it took the fucking writing off. Some of them don't do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just put a little bit of detergent just on there, just to clean it, but not make it soaking wet. There we go. And now what we'll do now, we'll dry that off. Get the dry part of the cloth and dry that off. And there we go. Give this side just another quick. There you go. Got the guide. I would like a piece of rubber to put in this guide. There isn't one in there. Mind you, there's not supposed to be one. No, it's not supposed to be a rubber in there. Well, that's good, because you wouldn't fit one in by And there's actually a bit of flaking. Scraps! There's a bit of flaking. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to push this down, and what it'll do, it'll actually just make it a close, oh, not too far, but what it'll do, it'll make it a closer fit. And it'll just fit tighter onto the glass. And you just push it in. So why is that not going all the way? Why is that not going flush? That's it. Once it's in, it will. I mean, we've also got marks. No, that's not right, that. That's definitely not right. That's not right. One of these rubbers moved up because one of them was a bit further forward than it looks like it should be. No? No, it looks like there's one missing. But that could be the answer. Right, and that goes that way. I don't want to put any fingerprints on it. I can touch the part where there isn't any, where you're not going to view it. Right, so that goes in that side there. That goes there. Oh yeah, it's because there's a rubber missing. Yeah. I'll find something to put in there. Let's straighten that there because that's bent and it's not supposed to be. And what I'm going to do, because these are slightly damaged, I'm going to actually put that's slightly bent down and it shouldn't be. There we go, that's better. And I'm hoping that that bit there where the glass is scraped, I'm hoping that when that goes in, there should be a rubber that goes along the bottom of that and it's missing. So I'm hoping they're going to be able to do something about that as well. But let's put the glass there for a minute and bring the speaker grill over, because the glass fits in first. Now we've got a screwdriver. Now let's find the screws that I think are for that, which is that one and not that one. And that one could be, or it could even be, that ain't one out of it, that ain't out of it. It could be that one, and there should be another small one, and I'm not completely sure where it is. It could be that one, but I don't think it is, because it's just goes through. I think we might have one missing, might have a screw missing. But it's no problem because I have got screws. I mean, there's one there. That would probably fucking do it. I have got screws, so they're not a problem. But that's not it. That's not it. that would fit it. That would do it. It could even be them two, but I don't think they are. But I think it's that one, and I think that one would do it. So I think them two would do it, so we're okay on that. And in case it's them two, I'll leave them out as well, but I don't think it is. So we can now put that away. Let's leave them couple of screws out. Bring the cabinet over, and I should be able to fit the glass. Simply by, I want to get the computer screws out from up here. They should already be out, but they're not. So I want to get the computer screws because I need a couple of washers. And while I'm at it, put my cartridge bits away because I don't need. Oh, hang on, they are the computer screws. I thought they were my cartridge bits. They're the computer screws. Because what I want to do, I want to get a couple of washers. And there's supposed to be a rubber on there, but it's gone AWOL. But that's no problem. So basically the glass fits in first. You fit the glass in here, and there should be a hole there and another hole there. And basically what I want is a couple of washers. Just want a couple of washers just to reinforce where it's slightly damaged. That's all it's for. Right. Right. So put my fingers on it on the glass where there are no. There we go. So you just put a little bit of, put a washer on it. Well, you can if you can fucking hold the bastards. Right. There we go. Yeah, getting this in's a mission. It'll go. Alright. You just turn. The other one might be slightly difficult because it's slightly long screw. And these don't have to be that tight either. You know, you don't have to swing on them to tighten them up, you just tighten them up. They don't have to be really, really super tight, you only have to be snug. People do super tight and tear the thread out of the wood. And I've got the screwdriver. And they only have to be snug. You only have to snug them up. As long as the snug will be alright. That bar there needs sorting out because I just felt it move, I think. Right, and that. It's just, that needs to be lifted up a bit because it's slightly bent down. It's supposed to line up with the screw and it doesn't. with the old try that. But there again, there is supposed to be a rubber gasket in there as well, so that's probably why. But what I'll do, I'll put that in so it lines up, because there is supposed to be a rubber gasket in there as well, so I need to take into account for that. Is this screw magnetic? Yeah. I mean, we're not that much out of alignment on the screw, but there again, we're only out of alignment because the rubber gasket's missing. And that does fit that, that's good. So we'll tighten that up. There we go. I need to make another keeper to go here, which I will make in a bit. Now let's have a look at how the glass looks. See if it's straight and stuff. Just move some of this stuff. Oh wow. Oh yeah. That needs bending up a bit. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. It's right. No, it's not. It's right. I thought it was out of line. It's not. Actually, I think that should have gone in a bit further, but yeah, it should have gone in a bit further, but there's nothing I can do about that. I can't knock it in because I've done the job already. These are all glued in, but oops. Right, it's got its glass back in. How about that? Now, let's just put it on pause while I put the speaker grill in. There, folks, what do you think of that? That, apart from a little bit of trim I want to buy to put in at the bottom here, and a little bit I've got to try and do here at the end where it's chipped. Apart from that, that is the cabinet officially finished. And look at that, doesn't it look good? It's got its glass back in, it's all nicely cleaned. I managed to do it without putting any scratches on it. I think there's a hair stuck in it there. We've got a hair there. Yeah, we've got a hair. Let me just find me, what do you call it, just try and hook it out. Got a hair stuck in the case there, stuck in it there. I think it's a hair. Yeah, look, there's a hair in it. See if we can just hook the hair out. No, I can't get it. It's underneath the varnish, it'll have to stay there. Anyway, whoops, that top's still a bit tacky. So there we go, folks. There we go. That is the cabinet. That is the cabinet of the radio. Officially finished. Let's zoom in a little bit. We can have a proper good look round this cabinet now. And let's pull the aerial up on the remote radio control device for the camera. There, look at that. How about that, folks? What do you think? Hey? What do you think, folks? What do you think? Am I good or am I good? That, the only thing I'm not happy with is this mark here. And that came off the iron. Don't ask me how. But having said that, in future years it'll add to its character. You know, when I'm long dead and gone and this is happily still chugging away working somewhere, you know, people will say, whoever gets it after me, you know, people will say, you know, I wonder where that mark came from. You know? But I'll tell you what, I am really, really, really impressed. Really, I could, you know something, I couldn't be more happier. And in fact, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm actually gonna say that is the best radio cabinet I've ever done. Not because it's the first one. Well, it's not the first one done on video. I've done the Clark and Smith, but so just to angle it back a bit there. Look at that. We've got got about 4 or 5 coats of varnish on there now. It shouldn't need any more than that. It's not getting any more than that. I'm going to leave it now to dry and give you a look at the top. It looks patchy at the top, but it's not. It just just looks that way. But you know, and this is 2 pieces of veneer joined together all the front. And I think to be honest, and there's a little repair patch here, and another repair patch here, and another repair patch down here. And I to be honest, folks, I think I've done a bloody good job. You know, I'm not blowing my own, well actually I am blowing my own trumpet. I think I've done a bloody good job. And considering when you see what this cabinet was like, and there's a video of me showing the cabinet when I said, yeah, I will give Lawrence this one. It's well, no, I'll find the part. I'll find it where I show it, and I'll link it in. Well, I think I will. But it's you know, Lawrence himself will tell you that it was in a right 2 and 8 when I got it when we bought it. It was because what we did, we went after it because I didn't see the point. I didn't think it was fair that I buy a radio as a donor, use some of the parts to sort his out. He ended up with the output transformer and a couple of valves. And there was nothing wrong with his own output transformer. I thought there was, but there wasn't. It was bad components that came that were supposed to be new. That was the issue. But rather than mess about, because I'd already swapped the transformer, I just left that one in his. And it was a better looking transformer anyway, it was nicer looking. But I've got his old transformer, which is in here, and it works fine. But I'll tell you what, you know, I can't believe, do you know, that's absolutely stonking, isn't it, folks? Do you know, I can't believe, I'm really pleased. Do you know, I'm chuffed to mint balls. Really, I am. I'm chuffed to mint balls on how it's turned out. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. I can't put the knobs on yet. Well, actually, folks, I can. Is it tacky? No, this is all dry. I can actually just put the knobs on. I can tilt it back and just rest them on. Right, should we have a look what it looks like? This is a sneak preview as to how it's going to look. This is just a sneak preview of how it's going to look. Put them all in the right places. Just put the right in so there we go. I won't leave them on too long because it is still a bit tacky. And last but not least, the wave change knob. There, folks. Just think when the chassis is back in that and the knobs are on and everything, it's really going to pop in it. You know, I think I've done a really good job to get these knobs back off, because it is still a bit tacky, but there we go. Anyway, that concludes the work on the cabinet. I'm not doing any more to it, there's no need. This will dry, and it should dry nice. I'll give it a good polishing, really good polishing, and make it really pop. And there's about 4 or 5 coats of yacht varnish on that, so that should. I'll give you a quick look at the sides again. I mean, nothing's changed from when you last seen them, but there we go. Hang on, whoops, there we go. Turn it round. Let's get hold of the bottom, and there we go. Look at that. What's that mark there? I don't know what that is. Oh, probably one of my fucking fingerprints. The fuck's that? Well, whatever it was, I think it's just a lump of varnish. There we go. It's not too bad. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, now I need to get it back into where it was. Oh, there we go. Hey, put it back there. There we go. And that, as I say, is the cabinet. I can't believe. I wish I could. I wish I could power the dial bulbs. I can't, but well, I could, but I'm not going to. That'll all be done when the chassis is back in and everything's working. I mean, the AM on the chassis is working. I've only got to work on the FM. But like I say, if it's a fault that I haven't covered, then I'll show you what I do to cure it. But if it's one I've already covered, I won't show you any work on the chassis. I'll just show you when the chassis goes in, because a lot of the repair work I've done on this particular chassis, the Bush VHF 41 chassis. A lot of the repair work I've done, a lot of the work I've covered a lot of the chassis on Lawrence's radio when I did his, so there's not really much need for me to cover that unless it's a fault that I haven't seen, and I think there's something you might want to know about, then I'll explain it. But other than that, I won't be covering much on the chassis because I've already done it. I've already been there. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for watching. I'm really pleased with the way it's turned out. I need to contact David, who offered me a piece of glass if I broke mine, because I think he said he's got one of these radios, so I might ask him if he wants to part with it, and obviously offer him some folding money. Not a lot of folding money, but some folding money. Offer him a few £, and you know, because I'm going to, provided it's got a good speaker, I'm going to need a speaker for this, and I haven't got a speaker. My last good 4-ohm speaker, this really needs a 2-ohm, but I put the last 4, the closest I had was 4-ohm, and that was the last one I had in stock, and I put it in Lawrence's. I have got a 4-ohm speaker. No, I haven't. That's an 8-ohm. No, I'm actually clean out of 4-ohm speakers, so I'm gonna have to get a 4-ohm speaker. So, but I'll have to have a word with Dave. He did say he had a spare set there, so we'll see and see if I can get the speaker from him. Anyway, folks, I'm happy with it. It's a lot better than what it was, and you know, I'm getting good at this, aren't I? I am. You know, it might sound like I'm blowing my own trumpet, but I am, folks, because I'm really chuffed. And I think when you do a job and you're really happy with it, then yes, you should blow your own trumpet and let everybody know that you're happy. I'm certainly happy with that, and I need to make another keeper to go on here to hold this side of the glass, from behind. But as regards for putting a rubber strip in it, it ain't gonna need it. a really good fit. Once I put I'll put a piece of rubber behind each keeper, and that will hold that will then stop the glass rattling. That ain't gonna rattle anyway. It's a really good tight fit. It's a good fit, that glass. That's gone in really well, and it's level, and everything's right, and I'm happy with it, and the sun's out and it's a beautiful day. You all take care, have a good day folks, and have a better one tomorrow. Bye for now, and you join me again when I'm on the chassis. Bye for now folks, and thanks for watching as always.